I'm stressed. I'm really, really stressed. Stay tuned and you'll find out why. 10 reasons I'm stressed. Here are 10 reasons why I'm stressed. Pandemic information, changing terminals, security, flying economy class, baggage, cellular phone usage, dealing with the language. What about credit cards and currency? And what about immigration and customs? Which actually the last one, immigrations and customs, is a piece of cake. Okay, let's get started. There are 10 reasons that I'm stressed. We are traveling to Guam for the very first time, and I've never flown internationally. And there are just a ton of questions that I have. All right, first of all, regarding pandemic information. They are routing us from Detroit to Newark, from Newark to Tokyo, Japan to Guam. All right, pandemic information. Japan has been a closed country until just this last October. But what type of requirements do they have for entering the country? Now, we aren't really entering the country technically. What are we doing? Gee whiz. We're connecting flights. But here again, are there any requirements? What happens if we get to Japan, to Narita Airport, which closes at 11 o'clock, by the way, and people have to leave the airport until it opens again in the morning? What happens? What do we need to be able to enter the country if we want to find a hotel? To be fully vaccinated in the United States, it takes 2 shots. In Japan, it takes 3 shots. However, you can enter Japan, is my understanding, with 2 shots if you take a pre-COVID test within 72 hours of leaving your city of origin. In our case, it would be Detroit. So, but it has to be a certain type of test. It has to meet all of Japan's regulations, if you will. So that's the first thing. Changing terminals is the second point. Fortunately, on our itinerary, we remain within the same terminals. So it's not a big deal for us. Now, the third point is security. Interestingly, we have to go through security again when we are in Japan. We grab our carry-on stuff. We have to go through security again before we go to our next gate for our flight to Guam. Fortunately, the security regulations in Japan is very similar to what it is here in the United States. So we don't really expect too much of an issue. Our concern, though, is what type of vaccinations do we need for COVID? And so my wife and I, just to be on the safe side, we went and got our 3rd shot. So we have a little piece of paper from the CDC that says we've got the 3rd shot. But does Japan accept that? We'll find out. Maybe we'll be stuck. We don't know. We're flying United. Economy class because I'm cheap. So we're in the very back of the airplane. The issue with flying economy class is you need to understand that economy for United has some different meanings. We're flying basic economy, which is about as low as you can go. I mean, very little leg room, seats recline maybe 3 inches. Otherwise, we do get a meal on the plane, which is nice. if we were to fly Economy Plus, you get more leg room, you get the assurance you're going to have something to plug your devices into. Um, and then I understand that they have kind of like Economy Platinum, which I think is really more like a business class. I might be wrong about that. But it took us a while to figure out, because we were flying economy, what class we're in. Here's the catch with economy. If you buy a ticket under economy class, you are assigned a seat. Not a big deal. The problem is if you want to upgrade, and there are reasons for upgrading, we'll get to that when we get to baggage. But here's the issue. They'll charge you $100 just to upgrade, and then whatever the increase on the price is on top of that. So just keep that in mind. It might just make sense if you're going to fly a long distance. Our flight to Japan is 14 and a half hours. You just might want to go um, a step up in the economy class, Economy Plus. Besides that, it allows you to check a bag for free, which is $55. Oh, we're into baggage now. Here we go. Point number, whatever, 4 on baggage. If you're flying economy, you have to pay for your checked baggage. $55 for the first bag, $100 for the second bag. Fortunately, at the most, I would be checking one bag, so that's $55. But it says that you can only carry on one personal item. We were concerned about that because it also says that if you have a trans-Pacific flight, which we do, we're going all the way to Japan before we go to Guam, that you can check a baggage for free. You can carry on a personal item plus a carry-on bag. Well, that's not true. We get one personal item to carry on. However, we did call United, their helpline, and we talked to a wonderful person by the name of Mary, and she said that we can carry on a personal item and a carry-on bag. We'll see. It's who knows. We may have to check our carry-on bag, and if that's the case, it'll be $100 plus because we've already checked one bag. Plus, we would do it at the gate, so that's another $25 on top of that. What's money, right? Okay, on to the next point. Cellular phone usage. If you don't want to be charged thousands of dollars when you travel internationally, it's important that you call your carrier. We subscribe to one of the major services, and calling that service, we can get international coverage for $10 a day for each phone. So we're going to be gone a whole month, 30 days, so that would be an extra $300. Now, there are things that are called eSIMs, we've learned. But the problem with using an eSIM with my major carrier is that my phone is locked to their network. In other words, I cannot access or put an eSIM into my phone. My phone does have that capability. I can call my carrier, and I just learned this yesterday. We're leaving in about 3 days from now. But it takes a while for them to unlock the phone, and they will unlock it only for foreign travel, which is a pain because we own the phone. It's almost like, come on, unlock my phone. It's been paid for. I have an iPhone 11. It's been paid for a couple of years already. So, all right, let's think about moving on to the next concern. Language. What's it like arriving in Japan? Well, we had no idea, but we've done some due diligence, and we feel confident that we can navigate the airport. Japan has pretty much, even their street signs, they'll have in both Japanese and in English. So that's a plus. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Regarding credit card usage, when we were wondering if our credit cards would work, of course, you have to give a travel update to whoever issues your credit card so they don't turn it off thinking it was stolen. So we've actually already done that, and But traveling internationally, a lot of people don't know that there are a few types of credit cards that do not work internationally. And so you want to check and make sure that your card works internationally. Most of the major cards do, but still it's worthwhile just double checking. Currency wise, if you are in Japan, we've learned that Japan is a cash-based society, and they, of course, their currency is the yen. It's You have a good idea on what a dollar or how much yen, how many yen there are in a dollar. Approximately 150, I believe. Uh, don't don't count on that. Double check that because I'm just doing it off the top of my head. But um, because they're a cash-based society, there are very few places that accept credit cards. We're hoping, we don't know, but we're hoping that when we're in the airport, because we will be hungry and we'll want a snack, um, that they will take the credit card, and of course the bank will do all of the computation in terms of things that cost. So the last one is immigration and customs, and it shouldn't be a concern. We are actually flying to Guam, which is a United States territory, this little island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It is the Hawaii, if you will, for Japan and South Korea. So they get a lot of tourists from there. So we're going to visit our son and our daughter-in-law. Our son is a former Marine officer who married a lifetime Navy nurse, and so she is stationed in Guam. And so we get the benefits of that. It's just that our travel time is almost 24 hours. Here's what it looks like. We travel, I think it's around 7 in the morning to Newark, which is about an hour and a half trip. We have an hour and a half layover. So now we're around 10 o'clock. We climb on the plane that goes to Japan, a 777, 350 passengers and however many attendants and pilots that they have. And we fly to Japan 14 and a half hours. We land in Japan. We have a 3-hour layover there, and then we get on a plane and we fly 4 hours to Guam. So that comes out to, yep, you got it, almost 24 hours. So that's going to be our life in just a few days. We're going to make a follow-up video on trying to clarify some of these things I've talked about. But I hope that if you're traveling to Guam that maybe this might alleviate some concerns so you don't have to be as stressed as I have been. Okay, we're going to cut it here. Take care.